Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying spooky season. For the purpose of this video, I will be calling Frankenstein's monster Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein the Bride. This DIY is super easy, but they're so beautiful I had to do them. I just used two 17 by 11 picture frames and a shirt of your choosing. I chose Frankenstein and his bride. These are their mug shots. They were my t-shirt and my boyfriend's t-shirt, but we outgrew them and I still wanted to keep them, so I decided to cut them up and stick them in frames. I cut the entire back of the shirt off and the top and bottom as well. I made sure to leave at least 2 inches of material around the entire picture itself. Then I do the exact same thing with the men's shirt. I have the book and movies, so I know the history of the names, and for those who don't know the history of Frankenstein, here it is. Dr. Victor Frankenstein wanted to reanimate a corpse, and he successfully does, but doesn't give the creature a name. In The Bride of Frankenstein, the creature wants a mate, so the doctor makes him one by reanimating a female corpse. When she wakes up, she's repulsed by him and yelling, and I thought it was super rude because she's not prize. I mean, she's reanimated corpse too, but she has standards, so good for her. Anyways, back to the tutorial. Using a lint roller, I delint both shirts and then I get them ready to put inside the frames. After putting the fabric into the frame, I put the backing on and I lock it in place. I make sure to put 2 inches of extra fabric around just so I can tug the picture until it's exactly where I want it, and then I cut off all the excess fabric. I do the exact same thing with the men's shirt. The men's shirt was actually thicker than the women's shirt, so it was kind of hard to put in, so you're going to have to use a little bit of muscle to get that in there, and then just make sure everything's exactly where you want it picture-wise and cut off the excess fabric. On to the last part of the DIY. I have this wooden heart, and here I'm going to just take off the tag and the backing of it. There's this little sticker. Be careful when you pull that off because you could pull off a piece of wood. That's what I did with my Valentine's hearts, but this one was perfect and it just came right off. Then I used some glossy black paint to paint the entire heart, and I painted the sides of the heart as well. After the paint had completely dried, I realized that you could see the wording and all the details of everything underneath the black paint, so I decided to paint the back side of it and use the back side as my front. Then with a pencil, I drew some dripping blood on the top of the heart. After I fixed all the blood drips to where I wanted them to be, I painted everything red. I didn't want any of the black peeking through, so here I switched to a sponge to make sure it was really opaque, and I got every last drop really, really red. Because this layer of paint is really thick, it took a while for it to dry, so I would give it 24 hours to dry or so. And if you wanted to, you could put Mod Podge or some gloss over it to make it look more glossier. I just like the matte look, so I left it as is. Using a pencil, I drew out my J and my A in cursive on the heart in the middle underneath the droplets. Well, technically my A isn't cursive, but it's kind of like fancy-like, so we'll just say fancy. Then I use the pencil again to kind of fill in where I think the J and the A need to be filled in and darken up a couple spots and kind of switch it up a little bit before I use the marker to permanently put the J and the A on. Then I used a silver calligraphy pen to color the J and the A in. I don't know why, but I gravitate more towards silver than gold. I think silver is absolutely beautiful, and it just looks so pretty with the red and black. I tried to freehand a plus sign and it kind of looked weird, so I ended up using a ruler to make my plus sign, and then I filled it in with that silver calligraphy pen as well. After the ink had dried, I used a black paint pen to clean up all the edges of the plus sign and the initials. I then erased all of my pencil markings and used the black paint pen to sharpen all of my edges. Using that black paint pen one last time, I used it to sharpen up all of my blood drops. And the final step to my bloody initial heart is putting a sawtooth hanger on the back of it. I just used some hot glue to glue that in place, and you can use E6000 if you like, but this didn't weigh that much, so I thought hot glue would be okay to hold it in place. And after I pushed it down on the hot glue, I added 2 more hot glue droplets on the sides of it just to make sure it had extra stability. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you're not already, and if you do recreate this, please tag me because I would love to see any recreations you guys make. That will be all for this week, and I'll see you guys next week.